out Marcus Griffiths was the referee. Incomplete stats because Wyre's try-scoring debutant Josh List was missing from the Super League website, but a couple more debutants handed out by Warrington in this game as well, some young kids.
Yeah, a lot of kids playing in a lot of teams this weekend with so little time between matches as we try and squeeze everything in before the World Cup.
Well, and so many matches that didn't really mean very much.
Yes, absolutely. So for the winning Huddersfield side, Tui Lola here, one try assist, 224 metres. Lewis Senior, one try assist, 141 metres. Owen Trout, much trumpeted by his coach, 114 metres. And Chris Hill, 109 metres and no sin bin. For the losers, Matt Duffy, 4 tries and 208 metres. How many tries has he scored now, Matt Duffy? He's scored a bloody shed load, hasn't he?
5.
Wow, for a short period of time.
5 in three and a bit games.
That's pretty damn good going. Josh Thewlis, 6 tackle bus, 148 metres. Jake Wardle, one try assist, 105 metres. And Rob Mulhern, 41 tackles.
Mark W said, not much to say on the first half other than we dominated it, but the second half was a question of attitude. We came out as if we'd already won. When this proved not to be the case, we struggled to wake up. Wyre, on the other hand, were playing to win, with the younger players really giving it all they had. Leon Hayes in particular stood out and controlled the side better than any of their stars have all year. And EFC 78JU said, played better, but not the result we were after still conceding away from home. But a 2-point loss will have to do. Duffy has improved since he has left the NRL and the Bulldogs immediately. Defence just needs to improve going into next season, as they will give away tries at Salford so they can actually defend their try line and go up the opposition end and score. This season just wasn't for us at all. COTW.
Come on the wire.
Yeah, I'd written a couple of notes before I'd seen EFC's review, actually. He's kind of said similar-ish things to what I was going to say about, especially in the 4 tries he scored in this game, Duffy's speed and support play was on show, and why we're able to score a number of long-range tries. And, they'll have been looking around at the likes of Wigan and Salford this year, the teams with the best attacks, and seeing them do that consistently. Now that they're doing that right at the end of the season, they might already start to feel that next year there's that tingle that next year might be their year. But then they go and watch the rest of the highlights and realise their goal line defence will need to be significantly better if there's any chance of next year being their year.
Yeah. I mean, Wyre have not got a lot to play for right here other than playing for next year, trying to get them sorted out for next year. I think Huddersfield must be a little bit concerned here. They lost a late one at Leeds. They're then playing against a side who have really not got really anything to play for. Go streaking up into the league, but then really drop off the pace second half. Credit to Warrington. They played well. I thought Williams was excellent again. He really is playing well.
It's good that he's playing well, isn't he? Because we need him to play well. Because there's still every chance Lomax won't play in the World Cup with his bicep. We need
absolutely.
Williams to be on top form.
We do, and I think he's playing really well, both with his passing game's very good, his running game's good, his short kicking's been very good. So I think that's something for England to be encouraged about. But I think Huddersfield must be slightly worried here that they seem to have hit a little bit of a flat spot at the wrong time. It's coming right up to the playoffs here, and they've not got much time to really find the best form again right now. But
I think they'll find some mitigation within themselves for the Leeds game, rightly or wrongly, and maybe they shouldn't do that in a way, but they will for that last 5 minutes of that game. And I think this game, it seems more like they, thought they had it won, and probably maybe were thinking of future tasks that might be more challenging.
Maybe.
And then because that's when you can be susceptible to things like throwing a loose pass that gets picked up and ran the length of the field, like one of Duffy's tries. I think as well.
one on the two on the bounce, weren't there?
Yeah.
Two length of the field interceptions. One is acceptable. Two's like flipping out. What are you doing here, fellas?
But then the Wire comeback, it kind of started, didn't it? And then Will Price got his try, and they would have been thinking, game's won again. We've won the game again. And then Warrington kicked into more long-range tries. So I think, certainly, like you say, it's something for them to learn from Huddersfield and get their act together. They've got one more regular season game that there's a little bit on it, because whether they finish third or fourth, but ultimately they know they've got a home quarter-final going into the semi-finals. So yeah, I think they'll learn from it, but I don't think they'll be worried. Injuries have ended Stefan Ratchford and Matty Ashton's seasons a week early. I don't think that Ratchford is bad enough to rule him out of the World Cup. He does seem to be in and around Sean Wayne's plans. I don't understand it myself, but there you go. Next game, Hull KR versus Wigan Warriors reserves. I think is the saying that Hull KR reserves with the amount of injuries they've got. It was 20 points to 6 to Hull KR at half time. It finished 38 points to 28. So Wigan's youngsters did win the second half. So some credit for them there, but Hull KR were the better side. 7,315 was the crowd. Chris Kendall was the referee. Incomplete team stats, no Junior December for Wigan. I'm a bit disappointed because I thought he showed up well. I would have liked to have seen his numbers for tackles in particular. So it's a shame there. But what about the individuals we did have numbers for, David?
Yes, so for the winning Hull Kingston Rovers side, Rowan Miles, 1 try assist, 144 metres. Phoenix Lawatonga guy, 11 tackleables, 135 metres. The 5 yards from the line, unstoppable Ryan Hall, 1 try, 2 try assists, 5 tackleables, 111 metres and 3 offloads. That's a very long stat line. Albert Vatai, 1 try assist, 108 metres and 5 offloads. For the losing Wigan side, Abbas Miski, 1 try assist, 132 metres and 3 offloads. Ollie Partington, 1 try, 122 metres. Ben O'Keefe, who I've never heard of, 1 try, 106 metres. And Amaya Hanley, who's not had much game time this year, 100 metres.
It's his first appearance for Wigan this season. He has played a bit at Newcastle on loan.
So what do you think of this game, Mark, because you were there?
Well, we got a couple of fan views in late on. Joshua's granddad said two scratch sides, Hull KR by necessity, whilst Wigan chose to throw away a chance of League Leaders Shield by sending their kids. There was no chance of the League Leaders Shield, John. Rovers always in control until putting Q back on the rack to allow the Pies to make the scoreline respectable. And Tom Andrews said, an entertaining non-event game. Good tries from a Robbins without a spine, and Wigan's kids showed up well. Thought PLT played well considering he was out of position. Another 3 men down for KR. Rumour has it I'm playing next week next to Stanley Jean and David Hodgson. Matt Parcell went down about 20 minutes into the game after being quite influential, to be honest, early on. I think it was a friendly fire type incident. I can't remember exactly, but he went down and went off. And so Hull KR shifted around, and Phoenix Laulu guy basically played in all of the spine positions. I think he started at fullback, but then when Parcell went off, he kind of moved into halfback with Menchella going into hooker, but they seemed to rotate at hooker, and PLT did a lot of the dummy half work. He ran out of dummy half quite a bit, and Ethan Ryan went to fullback. He was pretty decent, to be fair, at fullback as well. But lots of injuries for Hull KR for a long time now, whereas Wigan did play 7 debutants in this game. I think of those, Ben O'Keefe, normally a centre, I understood, but he played on the wing. He showed up well. He scored a good try. He got to the line, got tackled just short of the line, and still managed to reach out his arm and get the ball down. Good goal kicker too. Kicked a couple of touchline conversions in the game. December, he looked capable. Like I've said, Acid, Harvey Hill and Jack Bibby in the front row. Limited minutes for those two, but they're very, young prop forwards. So fair enough. Bibby getting himself a try. James McDonnell and Jake Bibby, to me, their performances, I'm not saying they were bad, but they weren't impressive. It doesn't make me sad that they're leaving Wigan at the end of the season, their performances in this game, let's say that. Jake Bibby actually got taken off, and Zach Eckersley came on, another young player. He had a more telling contribution in the 5 or 10 minutes he was on the pitch compared to maybe in the 65, 70, whatever he was on the pitch. He set Miskey away for ultimately the try that was the James McDonald try at the end of the game. But yeah, Logan Astley looked way better than he looked in the Huddersfield game. I know everyone saw the Huddersfield game. It was televised, wasn't it? In this game, he showed a lot more willingness to get on the ball. He looked a lot more confident. Not everything he did came off. Some of it was a bit silly, but he'll learn it, and this was a better performance for him. Hull KR obviously had to play some youngsters as well, and some backup players. Zach Fishwick, everyone saw him at Magic Weekend. I think that might have been his debut. And he's played a few games since then. He's only, I think, 18. He scored his first try, I believe his first try, certainly his first try at Craven Park for Hull KR. He's a really good young prospect, Dave. I don't know if you've caught anything of him. He's really stocky.
No.
Really stocky. Look out for him. I thought he was good. PLT promising too. Like we've talked a bit about the way he played in different positions. One of the other, you remember last week they had a debutant come on the wing and score a try who was Paul Cook's nephew, I think it was, Connor Barley. Yeah. He came on, I think when Parcell went off, I think he came on actually. But he came on and took a carry, and this was where there was elements in this game of children playing against adults. And basically, he's ran full pelt into Ethan Havard and Oliver Partington, who've just absolutely lamped him. He's gone flying backwards. His legs have flicked up in the air. I don't think he ever went beyond the horizontal or anything. But obviously, a young kid getting absolutely whacked. Not to me, nothing illegal in the tackle, but anyway. And then caused a bit of a melee. It's actually what led to Ashton Sims making contact with the match official, which he's got a grade C charge, 3 match penalty notice, of which only one of them he can serve because he's retiring.
But just in case he ever thinks about coming back.
Yeah, but Oliver Partington was sent to the sin bin. Now, I thought at the time it was because the ref thought Partington was the one that made the tackle. And let's face it, Partington is a player that plays close to the line. He was captain in Wigan in this game, so he was going to play close to the line. He was, But I didn't see anything. I thought it was more. But Ethan Havard apparently is the one who made the challenge, and the match review panel have given him a caution, but nothing more. Partington went to the sin bin, and I think at that point it tired Wigan out a little bit more, obviously, and that sort of stuff. But good.
I think it just shows. I mean, no matter what the level of team you're playing in the league, if you have to put a lot of kids out into your team, you're probably going to lose the game. And I don't blame Wigan for doing what they did, just as I don't blame Saints for doing what they did. Just too short a turnaround for this level of sport, to be honest.
Well, what you're doing as well, both sides are resting players that need to play a playoff series and potentially a World Cup as well. Let's not forget.
Absolutely. So you're going to get a lot of injuries to players that you need for the playoff run if you put them through the mill at this stage of the season. It's not. I mean, it's the Super League clubs that decided to do this, but and there's very good reason for it because of the World Cup. But this is the result. This is the result of it. Just like at Easter, where Saints played the kids out against Castleford. In fact, the only thing that shocks me really is that Tom didn't call for Wigan being charged with bringing the game into disrepute for turning the kids out against Hull KR, which he did for Saints against Castleford.
I mean, possibly
I'm surprised by that.
Possibly this game, by the time it was played, had no relevance. Hull KR couldn't make the playoffs, and Wigan could only finish second, realistically. So. But it was, it was nice for Hull KR to finish their home season on a high with a win. St Helens weren't able to finish this game on a win, but they've got one more game at home to finish their home season on a high with a win, haven't they? But they did manage to secure the League Leaders' Shield thanks to Hull Kingston Rovers and Wigan's result, but they didn't manage to beat Wakefield. It was 24-6 to Wakefield at half-time, 34-18 at full time. 8,222 was the crowd. Tom Grant was the referee. Incomplete stats.